Hey guys, this is James Quick here with an intro to App Studio. And I'm a little bit sick today, so bear with me on my voice, but hopefully I'll make it through. But on the screen right now, you can see my contact information, as always, Twitter, email, the local meetup, my blog, and then the bit.ly link to the YouTube channel that you're probably watching right now. So like I said, what we're here to talk about today is just an intro really quickly to App Studio and what it is. So let me switch over to Internet Explorer. And really briefly, what App Studio is, it's a browser-based tool. So it means you can use it in any browser. It doesn't matter whether it's Safari, Google Chrome, Internet Explorer. Use it in any browser, and it's a drag-and-drop tool to create mobile apps for Windows, so Windows and Windows Phone. Obviously, as a Microsoft technical evangelist, I do a lot with building mobile apps for Windows, so this fits in perfectly with what I do. And a couple of cool things about App Studio, again, first of all, it's in the browser, so I've done workshops where people have built apps on a Mac for Windows because it's just through the browser. So that's one of the cool things. The other thing is that you don't have to have any programming experience to be able to use App Studio. So that it's more drag and drop where you tell it what data to go out and get, and you have a few choices of how to arrange that data and the different sections in your color scheme and all that kind of stuff that you can add and customize. But again, anyone can do it, no programming required to build mobile apps for Windows. So a couple of, let's go ahead and take a look at the home page here. And the home page is appstudio.windows.com. So at the home page, I'm already logged in up here, but you've got a button here for starting a new project. I wanted to go through a couple of these tabs up here. And one of them is the how-to. So this documentation that they have is really good. So it's got all these different bullet points that you can go down to and learn how to do something specific in App Studio. So I will cover a lot of these things in this series of videos on App Studio. But just for reference, you can always go back to the how-to guide with any questions that you might have first. Another one of the links that they have is sample apps. So these are, if you have a Windows device, so Windows 8 tablet, PC, laptop, or a Windows phone, you can download one of these sample apps. And these sample apps basically show you all the things that you can add in an App Studio app. Pretty straightforward. So if I go back to the home page, and if I just go ahead and start a new project, you'll see that I can either start with a sample or an empty app, and it's got a sample app title there. So just an empty app, basically you're just starting from scratch. Or you can pick from some of the templates that they have. So they've got my favorite band, they've got a movie review, they've got some more down here. But let's just take a look at what an empty app looks like really quickly. So I'll go ahead and do that, and you'll see that it'll show you what the app looks like on Windows Phone and Windows 8. So let's go ahead and click Create. And you'll notice I have a little simulator for the Windows Phone here, so whenever I add stuff to my app, we'll see it here. I could give my app a title, so this will be YouTube demo, whatever I want. And the next video will actually do a hands-on tutorial, but basically what you do is you add these different sections for data. So there's RSS feeds, there's HTML, there's YouTube channels, which will come in handy for me. Flickr albums, Bing searches, Facebook, Instagram, and now Twitter as of a couple of days ago. They just released the support for Twitter, so pretty cool. So those are all the data sources that you have. In addition, you have a couple, or those are your basic sections of data sources. You have a couple more that are menu and collection. And collection basically lets you input your own kind of data. So if you want to keep a list of movies or something, you can do a collection of movie titles and ratings and years and stuff. And your menu will give you some additional kind of menu options in your app. And we'll see what that looks like in a couple of coming videos. But just really simply, this is where you add all of your data to your app. The next step would be, or your content, the next step would be the themes. So you can change all of your color schemes. You can play with these, make them as ugly or pretty as you want. These are probably not the colors you'll go with. You can also choose a background image, and you can choose that from some of their resources. You can change the tiles on your app. So Windows 8 and Windows Phone have tiles. They let you go through and customize these. You can use the flip template, the cycle template, the iconic template. And lastly, your publish info. So if you wanted to publish this app, you could go out and basically associate this app with an app in the store if you've developed for Windows before. And again, this will be covered in a future video as well. But once I go to finish, I just want to hit on a couple of big things about App Studio. And we click generate here. You'll notice a couple things. You can generate this for Windows Phone 8.1 and Windows 8.1. That means a Windows Universal app. So again, it covers both of those platforms with the same code base. And you have some checkboxes here for published packages and installable packages. So if we would have filled out that information for our app info, we could do the installable package and take that right to the store. Or excuse me, the published package. The installable package will just let you test it on different devices. So let me click generate. And while this is loading, I'm going to talk about the two biggest features here that come into play. The first is that even though App Studio, you don't have to write code to create apps in App Studio, you have the ability to download the source code of Visual Studio Project in C# and go in and change or edit anything you want to. So now that it's done generating, if I scroll down, I'll find download source code. So this will let me go in and change anything I want to. App Studio is awesome for what it does, but if you want to change or add some additional features, you can do anything you want inside the code. So it's awesome that they give you that option because not many tools like this do. Secondly, the installable package. You'll notice here that I have a QR code, and what I could do with this is pull out my Windows Phone, scan that QR code, and it'll prompt me to download the app. And in maybe 15 to 20, maybe 30 seconds, I can have that app that I just built in App Studio on my phone. So those are the two really, really, really cool things about App Studio to keep in mind if you're interested in using it. And I'm going to follow up this video with building your first app, so we'll walk through adding a bunch of the content, changing a little bit of the layout, change a little bit of the theme colors, and generator. So stay tuned for part 2 where we will get hands-on and build our first app.